Okay, guys, let's do this one more time. I know I've had a lot of, attempts at this, and it seems none of them want to be done properly because I'm doing this in 4K with a short time span of 8 minutes and 52 seconds. But that's my choice. But anyway, I want to welcome you guys to this Patreon, DeviantArt, and maybe some other places exclusive that will go public probably by this weekend. And what I'm here to talk about is over the past couple of months, if not weeks, I've talked about and shared the fact that there's a lot of creative fans out there, Sonic fans anyway, that have created stories, written stories, that are not suitable for everybody because they are done in a very NFSW, erotic, adult content, very adult, XXX adult content style. And one of those stories that one fan, I think the name is Blue Quilted, over at fanfiction.net did is called Queen's Delight. And what's interesting about Queen's Delight is it's somewhat of a crossover between Sonic Underground and Archie Sonic. And the reason I say that is because Queen Aleena, who's Sonic's mom in Sonic Underground, comes to visit. She comes to visit Mobius Prime, I guess as a dignitary and ambassador to try to work out some kind of agreement, some kind of peace treaty between the two so that they could help each other. Well, almost immediately when you read the story, and I think I've shared it here on my YouTube channel thanks to OBS Studios' ability to let you do that, almost immediately the story shows, or tells, the author I should say, tells us that Aleena is smitten with Alicia. Like the minute she comes into the throne room, introduces herself to everybody, and they introduce themselves to her, she immediately is taken, immediately taken by, Alicia's beauty. Anyway, to get to the point, she's invited to stay the night, or at least a couple of nights, so they can work out some kind of agreement. Well, it's on her first night there that Alicia starts to feel a little frisky, and she wants to have some naughty NFSW erotic fun with her husband. Now, keep in mind, the way Max, her husband, Sally's dad, is portrayed here in this world is very similar to how he's portrayed in the mid to latter issues of the Archie comic books. He's basically very, very old school, very monarchy, very by the book kind of person, very you gotta be this way because it's the best way, and all that. And he's also very bitter, very, very bitter. He's kind of like an MJF light, if you will, almost, where he's got that attitude of, I'm a king, I'm royalty, I'm better than you, and you know it. Now, with that said, basically, he tells Alicia to get a hold of herself, to get it together, to grow up, basically, to start acting childish and all that. And of course, Alicia feels distraught, so she decides to take one of her evening walks, which usually helps her calm down, cool her head, cool down, clear her head so she can go back and have a peaceful sleep. But it's during this particular walk that she starts hearing something coming from her daughter's bedroom, and she's thinking at first that something's hurting her daughter, right? But when she peeks in, she notices it's not hurting her daughter, it's pleasing her daughter. She notices that her daughter is in throes of passion thanks to Sonic, very erotic passion thanks to Sonic, and then later on Nicole. And it's revealed to her by looking at this that these three are in a three-way relationship. Now, of course, unbeknownst to Alicia, this gets Aleena, sees this. Basically, it gets Aleena's attention. And Aleena starts to come on to Alicia. She starts to, notice what Alicia is noticing, and then she uses this to start to come on to her. Alicia notices this, and still wanting to stay true to her husband, tries to back away, and then Aleena's like, enough of this. enough. And she doesn't say enough in a way like, hey, you listen to me, I'm gonna order you around. No, she says enough, grabs her, and then kisses her on the lips. And then at first she's a little shocked, but the moment Aleena's mouth starts to kind of explore Alicia's mouth, if you catch my drift, that's when Alicia kind of starts to give in and starts kissing back. And I think all of a sudden the passionate light of erotic friskiness and passion and all that, just starts to go from being lightly lit to straight up inferno, where when Aleena asks her, hey, you feel better now? And Alicia's like, yes. And then Aleena's like, you want to continue this somewhere more privately? And Alicia right off the bat, after having that passionate fire go from almost being extinguished to outright inferno, she's like, yes, let's go. And pretty much the rest is history, because after that, they start getting it on with each other. They start getting it on, they start using certain items, if you catch my drift. They start placing kisses on each other, basically all over each other on every inch of the body kind of deal, stuff like that. They just go all the way. And it ends with them sleeping together with their hands, Alicia's, one of Alicia's hand on the upper portion of Aleena's body, and then her other hand on the waist, wrapped around the waist of Aleena, and Aleena's hand going down and touching that hand as well. And then it kind of ends on a cliffhanger, knowing that they're going to do it again, because you have Alicia kissing the hand of Aleena. And it also indicates in the epilogue, or at least the ending of the story, that Sally, when she sees them up before her and sees her mom's happy and everything, more so than she's ever been, and and she hasn't seen this in a long time, and she's showing this side of her that she hasn't seen in a long time around Aleena. Sally kind of, as the author describes it, starts to figure things out in her head, like the gears start to go off or start to rotate and go off in Sally's head of exactly why her mom is so happy, like she used to be, but around Aleena and not her father. So basically Sally's getting an idea of, oh, I think I know what happened here. So anyway, like I said, it ends on a cliffhanger with them potentially getting ready to do it again. And that is why this is a Patreon exclusive. Not just to give you an overview of the story itself, but to also ask you guys at 8 minutes with 52 seconds remaining, should I continue it? I've been thinking about it, but I want to do it in a way that's a little crazy. Like, we're going to go all out. So should I go for it? Should I incorporate, some of the things I like? Like, let's say the melting in the slime, they use a power that turns them into goo girls, slime girls. Should I try that, where they could shapeshift, melt, and all that, cover each other, you name it? Should I use the UB, as it's called, the unbirth or the soft war as well? Because, they could have magic to do that. Do you think I should have them going under the covers with each other, whether there's imprints underneath? What are your thoughts? Let me know what you feel. Let me know what you think I should do. You think I should go all out? Let me know. But until next time, guys, thank you for watching this exclusive on Patreon, DeviantArt, and wherever, and peace.